Good morning and a very warm welcome to today's lunchtime reflection from St Peter Mancroft Church here in the heart of Norwich. There's a few people looking around the church at the moment. Feel free to carry on. Welcome to everybody watching on the live stream. My name's Gill Persicke and I'm one of the lay ministers here. And my subject today is toxic positivity, keeping things shallow. And an item on the radio recently alerted me to the concept of toxic positivity. It's quite hard to say that, toxic positivity. And it was a new idea to me, though apparently the term was first coined in 2011. And what is it? Well, it's the idea, the dogma, that we should all remain positive, however dire the situation might be. Now, this may not sound actually toxic, but let me give you a few examples. You tell someone that your work is really stressing you out, and they reply they're sorry, but hey, you are lucky to have that job. You tell someone that you're feeling inexplicably low, and they say, have you tried counting your blessings? We all have so much to be grateful for. You tell someone that a friend has died, and they say, sorry, but she's safe with God now. Toxic positivity really seems to love the shallow platitude. But why do people do this to each other? Well, I think there are several reasons. The other person might feel uncomfortable with or even embarrassed by the emotional content of what you've just told them, and they don't want to engage with your suffering. Or perhaps they just can't be bothered. Or perhaps they really are slightly condemnatory of people who don't put a brave face on things all the time. Whatever the reason, this kind of everyday toxic positivity can have a really bad effect on the recipient. It might leave you feeling really lonely or ashamed about having shared your sadness. It might even leave you resolving that from now on you're going to steadfastly maintain a facade of well-being, however dreadful you're actually feeling. I think it's always so heartbreaking to hear of someone committing suicide and their friends saying, we just can't understand it. He always seemed so cheerful. But toxic positivity is also something we can do to ourselves. Many people beat themselves up mentally when they're feeling low, adding an extra level of self-condemnation to whatever difficulty they're already dealing with. Oh, I'm so pathetic. Other people seem to cope with this sort of thing, so why can't I? I'm such a burden to my family and my friends. The self-critical monologue can go on and on and on. But now that we've been alerted to the existence of toxic positivity, a new modern mantra has appeared. You may have heard it. It's okay not to be okay. Yes, it's okay not to be okay. But I suspect this mantra really bothers some people because it might sound like an invitation to wallow in our emotions and our difficulties, to become what's nowadays called a snowflake, lacking in resilience and in courage. I'm constantly in awe of some people, they're mostly older people to be honest, who really do cope with terrible difficulties in life with positivity and gratitude, stoicism and hopefulness. Perhaps these are qualities which were valued and fostered by people who grew up during the Second World War and immediately afterwards. And it is true, resolute optimism can be a genuinely effective survival tactic for some people. Pack up your troubles in your old kit bag and smile, smile, smile. And indeed, there is modern advice on smiling based on sound physiological research. Apparently, the simple act of smiling, whether you feel like smiling or not, smiling releases particular hormones into your system, dopamine, endorphins, serotonin, and they will make you feel happier. When I'm feeling particularly low, I try to remember to smile at my cat first thing in the morning. And it really does give me a slightly better start to my day. So, it seems that positivity can be both toxic and therapeutic. So, what are we to make of all this? Well, for me, the acid test is whether any given instance of positivity is shallow or deep. Whilst I've been talking about toxic positivity, I've noticed that I've found myself using words like superficial, facade, platitude, because toxic positivity is paper thin. It just papers over the very real difficulties and sadness which we all face in life, and it refuses to engage with the depths of human experience. Let's just all keep jolly, it says. But apart from anything else, this is such an opportunity missed, because the times in life when people learn most, when they grow and mature, are precisely those difficult times, just as long as the difficulty is confronted face on and lived through honestly. And something else I've noticed, if you want to make really good, enduring friends, or if you want to grow closer to the people in your own family, live through the dark times with them. Share what's going on for you, even when it's ghastly, and listen to them with an open heart when they're going through the mill. Sometimes it really is a good idea to admit that life at the moment is just rubbish. A bit of therapeutic negativity there, and it brings people closer together. One final thought. I think I've been extra interested in toxic positivity because I'm a Christian, and I'm not the only Christian to have identified a possible danger here. There are strands of thought and tradition in our churches which do lead people to put very brave faces on difficulties which they really should be sharing with other people or actually seeking help for. I remember chatting to a nice chap who'd had to leave a church he loved because he began to suffer from depression, and they told him to pray about it and he would get better. And when he didn't improve, he was made to feel guilty. He very wisely left that particular church and is now an ordained priest. Real hope, real joy, isn't something which we can just manufacture by behaving like Pollyanna. No, true hope and true joy often lie the other side of some really difficult stuff. And you can't just glide over that stuff. Sometimes you need to battle your way through it with other people helping you. And by the grace of God, everybody will come out the other side a bit wiser and happier. So, my advice for the rest of today? By all means, smile, even laugh a little. It will do you some good. But don't avoid the tough stuff, either your own or other people's. Shallow, toxic positivity never did anybody any good. Thank you for joining me today, and I wish you every blessing for the rest of the day.